What's going on, everybody? Jukebox Hero here, back with episode 10? Yes, episode 10 of the Dark Souls Remastered All Bosses Walkthrough. We are about to enter the painted world of Ariamis. You can see we're in this room with a bunch of painting guardians. I'm going to open my inventory here and show you that we do have that peculiar doll that will allow us access to this area, so make sure that you do have that in your inventory. You can get that back in the Undead Asylum. I am doing a voiceover for this because for whatever reason my audio was not recording. It was recording like the game audio, but it wasn't getting any of my microphone input. So having to do this as a voiceover as opposed to just the natural dialogue that I would have during the playthrough. So I apologize for that, but I'll make sure to provide the meaningful walk through and tips and everything like that as we're going through here. So real quick, with coming to the painted world of Ariamis, once you get in here, you cannot leave until you clear the area. So before you enter, just make sure that you're okay with being here for an extended period of time. Otherwise, you'll just regret coming if you're not ready to stay. So you see, we go to the warp function now that we have the Lord Vessel, and it says the bonfire is cut off from the others, cannot warp. So Lord Vessel really doesn't do you anything here anyway. So throughout this area, the majority of the enemies that we're going to be fighting are your standard hollows, plus a couple of variations of them as well, and some bird people. That's pretty much the majority of what you'll be fighting in the painted world. This first door can open from this side. Of course, that's going to be a shortcut that we're going to be able to unlock later. You can see an item hanging from a corpse right there. We'll also be able to cut that down and get it later as well. As you come up these stairs around the corner, you'll notice there is a hollow that's shooting arrows at you, so be careful with him. There's another one up the other side of the stairs over there. As you kill him and look around the corner of those stairs, you'll notice these bloated hollows. When you kill these guys, they will release this cloud of toxicity around them that if you're too close to them, it will instant toxic you. So you want to be very careful with your positioning and not get too close to them, otherwise you will get the toxic debuff. Before we go up those stairs, there's a little side area that we're able to come over to here. There's a few normal hollows to fight, and then we'll be able to walk up the stairs onto the roof of this building. Okay, as you come up onto the roof, you'll see the item in the corner. When you pick that up, I'll point the camera here in the direction of that bird lady there. I can't remember the actual enemy names. But yeah, as you grab the item, that thing is going to fly down and ambush you, so just be prepared. There's actually going to be two that are going to come down and try to get you, so just be prepared for that. You can see it fly down, and the other one from the top of the tower. These enemies aren't too difficult to deal with, especially if you've got a great sword to just stagger them over and over. They do have a grab attack that can definitely be a pain to deal with, but other than that, not too bad. Okay, now we can drop down onto this little ledge right here, grab this item. Then down in this room at the bottom are going to be some white rats, some albino rats. They can also spread toxic to you. A lot of enemies will do toxic stuff in this area. It kind of sucks, but other than that, they just fight the same as, your typical rats throughout the rest of the game, so not too bad. Alright, out the building we come. So this is where those bloated hollows were before. So now we can go over to this bridge into this next building where there are more bloated hollows to fight, plus this other hollow archer over here to the side. Be careful not to drop down into that little area. I'll be showing that a little bit more here in just a second. But yeah, a few of those bloated hollows with some torches. These ones I did not avoid very well this time, and I did end up getting toxic from one or two of them, I believe. This guy actually were able to get off the edge. Woo, goodbye. But yeah, so you see there, we barely were in that cloud from the one that we killed. and toxic right away. So always good to have some blooming purple moss clumps before you come into this area. Alright, out on this ledge, you're able to cut down this rope for that corpse to drop down, which has an item in that main courtyard. And then we'll go ahead and continue on up those stairs on the other side, and we can get up to the rafters of this area. There's another torch hollow here, which we'll go back and fight here in just a second. It's going to fall off. We're not going to plunge attack it because we don't want to get toxic. But here I'm going to show you one easy way of making sure that you don't get hit by the toxic cloud, and that is by backstabbing these guys. So backstab, you kick them away, then a couple seconds later, then they explode. So that is the surefire way to make sure that you don't get toxic from killing them. Alright, coming back over to this little drop-off point, I'm just going to show that off for just a second and show, and it can be dangerous to drop down there from here. You'll see that ledge with an item. That's somewhere we'll be able to get much later in the level and make that drop down there a little bit more manageable. Okay, back up into the rafters of this area we go. We're going to be able to jump over this portion here to go grab that item. And then we can go out this way, which has a ladder, but first we're going to go over to the other side of the building and grab this item over here. And now we'll go down that ladder. Alright, all the way down these steps are a couple of albino rats and a chest. So Painting Guardian set is within that chest for some nice fashion, and then this little room here is just a drop down point that you can get to from later in the level. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this lower part. So on our way back up to the main tower. Alright, so here at the main tower, we're going to be going up these stairs as we just enter here. There's going to be a bunch of these bird ladies as we're going up. Now, walking up these stairs and fighting can be a little precarious, so just be careful with your positioning and don't put yourself in a bad spot. That will knock her down. We're high enough where that's just going to kill her. And usually that's the case with the ones that you're fighting on these stairs. It's typically fairly easy to get them to fall off. This one, we're going to try to do the same thing, but instead it's going to get pushed back onto this ledge right there. We'll be able to finish her off here in just a second as we grab the item. But first we're going to go all the way to the top of the stairs. And grab the red sign soapstone. That is used in PvP. Allows you to invade other areas. Well, you can put your red sign soapstone down. Somebody can summon you as an invader in their area, so a little bit easier than trying to use just like cracked red eye orbs if you're trying to invade somebody specific. Alright, back down these stairs, and then here I'm going to make a mistake by dropping down on not necessarily this ledge, but the ledge after that, because for whatever reason I remembered wrong that you're able to grab the item that you see through that window there, but that is wrong. So now I'm kind of trapped, quote unquote, in a way where our only option is to drop down. And luckily This drop point is not high enough to kill you. I thought maybe it would be, but we do fall down here trying to land on the stairs. Didn't do it, but luckily we're not high enough to where we die. So nice and easy. That is not the intended way of getting down here, so I'm going to go up these stairs and go back out and show you what is the intended way. Alright, so coming over here, you can see that undead dragon. We're going to go get those items here in just a second. But coming back over here is where we first entered that tower, just up these stairs. Now you can come over around to this part and you'll see that item that we saw before. Still can't get to it from here, but we will be able to get that item just a little bit later. Alright, on our way back now to that undead dragon. Now as you start grabbing these items, the undead dragon's going to wake up. And it's going to start moving towards you. So as soon as you get that blood shield, just run for it. Don't give it an opportunity to hit you. And boom, you made it. Every time you pass the undead dragon now, it is going to breathe this like poison gas at you. Or I guess it's more of a sludge than it is a gas. And it will just keep following you for a while. It has quite the range. So just be careful as you're going back and forth. You can fight it if you want to. I usually don't. It's not really worth it, but if you want to, by all means. Right there, you'll see a giant door that we are unable to open right now. So instead, we're going to come over to this fog wall, which will take us to the main courtyard. All right. Over here, you'll see these undead, well, I guess hollow phalanx, I think is what the enemy is called. These are not just decoration, those are actual enemies. As you get close to them, they're going to disperse. If you fought the phalanx from Demon Souls or the Silver Tears in Elden Ring, they work very similar to where if you try to hit the shield, it's going to do no damage to them, so the trick is to just get behind them. They can be a little bit annoying to deal with if they all gang up on you. They can hit you from close range. They can also throw their spears at you. But the trade-off is that they move very slow and don't have much HP. And there we go. All the phalanx killed, and now we can open the shortcut to the bonfire. Alright, now we're going to make our way to the right side over here along this ledge for a few items. There are some torch hollows and one or two just like normal hollows as well. One of these torch hollows that we're going to fight is going to end up killing us. Because well, what I did is I dropped down off of the ledge next to it and I couldn't pull my shield up right away. And it just did the worst attack possible that just one-shots you. So, yeah, bummer of a death there. But we'll go ahead and make our way back to that point, get our souls back. And then, like I said, there's just a few items over here to grab. I was going to show off the invasion that can happen here if you're human. But because that hollow killed me, that got rid of my humanity, and I forgot to reverse my hollowing again. So, if you are human at this point, after you pick up like these items and start going back to that main courtyard, you'll get invaded by Jeremiah, who isn't too bad, but, you know, he does drop a couple of items for you as well. So you'll see me coming up here being like, oh, why am I not being invaded? And it's because I was dumb and didn't realize that I had just died and I wasn't human anymore. So, but after this, we will start making our way towards a couple other parts of the area. Alright, so over here in this main little cathedral place, we're going to go up these stairs and try to open this door. but it says that it's locked. So there is a key that we need to find. The master key does not unlock that door, so can't rely on that. Then before we go over to where that item was, we're going to show you something else. You can go up these stairs, turn to the left, you'll see a bloated hollow. Well, no, sorry, I'm thinking of the wrong place. We got an item over here with some hollows just waiting on the ledge to ambush you. And then the archer from before can see you here, so he's going to start trying to hit you as well and just be annoying. So you can see him. Oh, right there. Yeah, we'll go pick up that item. Some more hollows will come up over the ledge. To whiff my hits. And then we can cut down that very first item from the beginning of the level that we saw. We now have access to that. Okay, now heading to this other pathway down these stairs. And this grants us access to the sewers. The sewers are a small area, but have a couple of very important things that we need to get down there. So at here I was like, oh, you know what, I'm going to change my mind because there's two ways to get down there. I thought about going to show the other place, but I decided we're going to start here and then I'll show that other area a little bit later. Now in this sewer area are bone wheels. If you play Dark Souls 3 before this, then you'll recognize the bone wheels from the Catacombs of Carthus. In Dark Souls 3 they are nothing. They're super easy, don't really cause a pain. In Dark Souls 1, they are notorious for being absolute beasts. They will kill you so easily, so it's important to just be careful as you're traversing through this area. You'll see as I go about throughout here, I'm just going to take them one at a time because there's that one that's illuminated that you can see at the end of the room, but the rest of the room is dark, and so it can be really easy to just not even notice that they're there in the first place. Yeah, you want to let them roll past you, then just get up on them and take them out, because if you don't have a shield ready to block them, or they get right up on you and you don't get them out of the way like that, you don't sidestep them, kiss your whatever goodbye, like you're dead, you're toast. So make sure that you are cautious in this area. Take your time, don't rush it, just get them one at a time, and eventually you'll get through here. Alright, so that is all the bone wheels in this area. We'll grab this item. And then before you move on, I didn't realize this my very first time playing the game, but there's a contraption right over here to the left. Oh, there's a phalanx up there that didn't realize I missed. But going back there, you'll see that little mechanism. You want to turn that handle, and a cutscene is going to play where the statue that the phalanx were surrounding, it's going to turn around, face that fog wall and that door that you were unable to open, and that door will now open. That is the pathway to the boss of the Painted World. So this is a very important thing to get. There is a different way that you're able to access the boss as opposed to doing that, but this is definitely the much easier way. Alright, then right here there's a suspicious wall. Unsurprisingly, it is an illusory wall. However, be careful, there are more bone wheels down here. And in these tight little corridors, these things can really, really suck. So be careful as you're going through here. I actually died to these guys twice as I was playing through here, because they are just so miserable to fight. Another wall here. This is where my first death happens to this guy. Just for whatever reason, it my shield just stopped working and it got me. So major bummer, but we'll make our way back down there because the item that was behind him is the one that we need to get. Now, on this way back, I'm going to show you the other way that you're able to get down into the sewers. This is the item that we cut down before, and then up these steps is a ring of sacrifice. And then this wall right here with the ladder is the other way to get down into the sewers. As you turn the corner here to the right, it is that first bone wheel that we fought as we came to these tight corridors. Just chilling right there. And the trick is to kind of just like get him to go forward there and then bait him back and get him in a little area where you can then take him out. I thought for sure I was dead here, but got lucky. Alright, now we're going to go get revenge and grab that item. Alright, so that is the annex key. I kind of did a cut right here because I ended up dying again to this bone wheel, so we went back and got revenge. The annex key is the opens that door in the chapel that I was talking about earlier. But this is the last portion of the sewers down there. You come up here, there's a bloated hollow. Be careful, this one dies in one hit. So just be careful when you take him out. And it drops the Pyromancy Fire Surge. Alright, and that is it for the sewers. That is everything that you can find in that area. So we're going to make our way back out and up that well. We're going to go use that annex key. Alright, so this takes us to the last, basically undiscovered area of the painted world. So you got a couple of options presented to you right away down these hallways, but you can also break that part right there. That's a broken down door. We'll do that in just a second. I'm going to kill this bloated hollow. It's going to get toxic on us because it jumps right at us as we're attacking. Super annoying. But before we continue on down that way, I'm going to show you that, oh, there's an item down there plus another bloated hollow. But before we do that, we're going to come up to this other path up these stairs. This bloated hollow is going to shoot pyromancies at you. And then up here are some bird ladies. Now I found this neat little spot here is very easy to just knock them off the edge and insta-kill them. Because as you come up here and grab this item, more birds are going to drop down. And so what I found is I came down to this little spot right here, and they're going to keep just trying to come after you right in that spot. And you saw that one jumped straight off. This one tries to get you. It ends up falling off. Another one jumps after me, falls off. So all three of them there, gone. And so nice little easy spot there. And then you can grab that miracle. And now you can go back down to that area that I pointed out before. But first we're going to grab this item from the other side of the tower that kept evading us before. It is Velka's set. Come over here for a drop down point to the bridge if you want. Where that undead dragon is again. Yeah, now we're going to go back to that lower area one more time. The reason I did that is because if you didn't kill those bird ladies, once you come down here and grab the item that's down here, they will all fly down and ambush you. So I find it a lot easier to kill them while they're up there as opposed to coming down and having to deal with them in this spot. Especially since you have that nice little cheese area that I discovered. I don't know if I discovered it necessarily or somebody else has in the past, but it was the first time I've ever seen that. So definitely makes dealing with them a lot easier as opposed to getting ambushed down here as you grab this dark ember. Alright, so now we're going to make our way back up to that path. See, I'm pointing out right there where those birds would be jumping down from. So, again, just a lot easier to take care of them while they're up there as opposed to letting them ambush you. Alright, now we're going to be opening up this door. Well, breaking it down, not really opening. And we just got Velka's set up there by the tower, and this is Velka's rapier. And now we can drop down to this part here. This is that drop down I was warning you about much earlier in the level. We have now made it to this point. And there's just a bunch of albino rats down here at the bottom. Alright, and then in this room, there's a little platform over there that we can jump to. You have to jump twice. One breaks the barrels, and then you just do it again and you're able to grab that item. Alright, then you can come up this ladder. This will take you to a drop-off point. And this is that ladder up into the rafters from the building from before. Alright, from here I make my way back to the bonfire, but I've cut all of that out just because I want to get fallen Estus, plus I get toxic. But now we are making our way towards the boss as we have now explored everything throughout the area, and all that's left is just this pathway down to the fog wall. Now down this pathway are just a few hollows. Just make sure that you watch your corners as you're going down, because some of these walls are hollowed out and there's enemies in there waiting for you. So we'll go kill this archer right here, and then on the other side of this hollowed out thing you will see another hollow. How many times can I say hollow in one video? And then this one right here, you then get ambushed by a bunch in behind you. Then the last enemy up until the boss is a Baron Ignite who jumps down from that platform from above. You can see him right there. And he is your last obstacle before reaching the boss. Alright, now as we approach, you are free to just enter the fog wall without necessarily needing to prepare or anything, because as you enter, the boss is not automatically hostile towards you. This is Crossbreed Priscilla. You're actually able to go up and talk to her, and she'll basically just be asking you, okay, who are you? Are you here? Like, you weren't invited, pretty much. You're welcome to leave. We have no quarrel with you. You don't belong here. Basically all she's telling you. So, and she's being honest about that. She gives you opportunity to just leave if you want to. If you go up those stairs and on that platform, cutscene's going to play where you just jump off the edge and you're back in Anor Londo. But because this is an all bosses walkthrough, we are of course going to fight Priscilla. And kind of feels bad whenever I fight her. Sometimes I'm tempted not to, but I always have to do all the bosses when I do this. So you can start the fight by just attacking her, and she will always do this little blizzard animation where she then disappears. And the trick of the fight is to follow her footprints in the snow to then discover where she is, and then you can just start to attack her. Her tail is cuttable. You can get a unique boss weapon from cutting her tail, so if you're going for that achievement, make sure to do that. For whatever reason, Priscilla was being really, really weird in this fight. Usually after you hit her, like 4 or 5 times, she will come out of her invisibility, and you'll just be able to fight her normally for a while until she disappears again. But for whatever reason on this playthrough, she just stayed invisible practically the entire time. I don't know what was going on there. I wanted to be able to show off the tail cutting, but she was just not cooperating at all. And so, again, I don't know why she was doing this. She usually reappears a lot faster. But you'll see I get her down basically all the way down. I basically have her dead by the time she reappears again. Don't know why that happened, but apparently it can. But hopefully on your playthrough, she's a little bit more cooperative and reappears before that, so you're able to get that tail weapon. And there we are. You can see that her health bar is pretty much gone. She's one hit away from dying. I don't know why she was being such a weirdo. I've never seen that happen, but yeah, so I'm sure on your playthrough it will be a little bit better and you're able to get her down a little bit easier as opposed to having her be invisible the entire time. But who knows? You might get unlucky like me. And there we go. And killing her gives us her soul. And now we are free to leave the painting. So we'll just go up these stairs and onto the platform. As I mentioned before, that cutscene will play. And we are back in Anne Orlando. When you get back, it rewards you with a homeward bone. You can use that. It's not going to take you back to the painting world. Bonfire is going to take you back to the Anne Orlando main bonfire where the Firekeeper is. So with that in mind, just be forewarned, if you have killed Guinevere at this point, then that bonfire is not going to be lit anymore. You can't rest at it. You can't teleport from it. So if Anne Orlando is still in good shape and you haven't done anything with Guinevere, then that's perfect to be able to use that bonfire, that homeward bone. But yeah, that is it for this episode. Again, I apologize that my audio wasn't recording correctly and I had to do this voiceover. It's a little bit unconventional compared to what I typically do. But hopefully I was able to give you all the insight that you needed and all the walkthrough that I like to provide in each of these videos. So if you found yourself watching this, appreciate you stopping by. Please like and subscribe if you can. It goes a very long way for me and helps a ton. But after this, we'll be going to the final portion of the game. So hope to see you in next episode, and we will go from there.